from a galaxy far, far away.
And a bookshelf straight out of the 90s.
From Thrawn to Dantooine.
And everything in between. This is Legends Look Back.
The other day, we were having a debate. A discussion? Was it more of a debate or a discussion? An investigation into a little weird piece of my history that nobody knew anything about. And that is, like, what is your weirdest collection? We all have our collections, right? And a lot of us, have the Star Wars collections. For example, I've got the Legends books, and people come up here into the room, and I show them around. And I tell them, "Hey, we got this stuff, and we got that, and there." And I've got a
recording
whole shelf
in progress.
Got a whole shelf full of Thrawns, for example. I've got all the Cantina Funko Pops. If there's a Funko Pop of a Cantina character, I've got it. It's on the shelf. My little Funko Cantina over there. No droids allowed. But I don't think I've ever shown you guys my belt buckle collection. Did you guys know that I have a belt buckle collection?
I did not.
Belt buckle collection?
Yeah.
Like the things that hold up your pants?
Did you earn them?
Jewelry for your waist.
Waist jewelry?
Hey,
my eyes are up here, okay? You ever pull that one?
Well, all right. So, I never thought of it that way. But in high school, my buddies and I all got into it. And I kind of, I'd like to think I started the trend. But, we don't actually have, a historian who has chronicled any of this. So you just got to take my word for it. Or not. Anyway, there was a point in time where we were, showing off our belt buckles. And eventually I was like, this is kind of mostly just pointing my crotch at people a lot. So, yeah, I stopped. I did I don't know, halfway through college, maybe shortly after I got married, I stopped wearing.
You didn't want to draw any extra attention.
Well, I'm not sure it's that as much as I kind of just the fad ended.
That's fair. Okay. I had bow ties at one point.
You collected bow ties?
Yeah, I think I only had one or two. I mean, so it wasn't really a collection as much as just a functional piece of a uniform I could add on. I worked at Dollywood. It was a hideous uniform. So I got a bow tie that had ducks on it to spruce it up.
You look like one of those newsy hats. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Dollyland.
Yeah, I had one of those. Yeah. And I was a train vendor on the genuine coal-fired steam engine.
Love it.
It was great.
Nice.
First of all,
Probably
what
been
is
on that
Dollywood?
What?
And
My
second
happy
of all,
place.
What?
Yeah, I have no idea what that is.
Wait, really?
Yeah, no, I have no idea.
Where have you been living? Under Stupid Rock? It's Dolly. It's Dolly Parton's.
Not Gatlinburg, I'll tell you that.
What is it? Is it like Graceland?
No, it's an amusement park in Pigeon Forge.
It's better. It's imagine Six
I don't know what that is either.
Roller coasters.
Okay.
Disney World ambiance.
Okay.
With a wholesome Cracker Barrel vibe and food.
That just describes Six Flags.
No. We can get into this at another time because I have a lot of opinions about Dollywood. But
Emily activated.
Yeah.
I've never even heard of it. No idea.
Oh my goodness. East
I
Tennessee.
worked there for a whole summer and it was the best summer of my life.
You know what would have made your summer better? If you had a belt buckle collection.
I would have. It really would have.
How many do you have?
Yeah.
How many do I have? That's a good question. I should count them after the show. I know at one point I had a number, so I might have a note. I do keep extensive note-taking archives here. Belt buckles.
About your belt buckles?
Well, I mean, with my Star Wars
you write
books.
Bits on them?
I keep 4 different spreadsheets for my Star Wars books. It's feasible that I have
650
Star Wars
different...
belt buckle. Nope, I don't have a list. But I do have 4 different notes in my computer that contain the words belt buckles. So I have to investigate what that's all about later. Y'all want to see them?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ready?
Absolutely.
All right. So this one.
I do have a
Yes, sir.
catalog of my knives, so that's one thing I collect is blades, and so I get that. Having a spreadsheet.
Wow.
All right, I'm on the wrong camera. There's.
You can. I thought you were going to show us your knives, but it's fine.
I got a new.
I know. I mean, that's cool.
Got a new one
That's
today.
also
It's
cool.
pretty cool. It's giant.
Whoa, that is big.
That's legit.
Hey, I got to show you guys sometime. There's a video from the early days of YOUTINI where Corey was doing an unboxing of all this YOUTINI gear that had come in the mail, and he flipped open a huge knife like that. and slice this box open, and then he never puts the knife down for the rest of the video, and it's just open. And he's just talking with his hands with this huge knife.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
like
pretty
12,
on
15
brand.
minutes, and it is one of the greatest things that ever happened in the
I
history
love
of the
that
company.
so much.
I remember the Christmas party last year. It was like a running gag that we kept on getting bigger and bigger knives out. And like the time it was my turn, I had a dagger and opened my present with a dagger because, okay.
That's awesome.
That's why you're on the team.
Yep.
That is totally why you're on the team.
Corey
for
liked your
so
dagger
many
skills.
reasons.
All right,
One
so here's where the collection started. I inherited it from my father.
Oh, right. Belt buckles.
Okay.
Also my receding hairline, but also the belt buckles. So Dad owned the entire National Finals Rodeo belt buckle line from like his freshman year of high school or something like that. And then his mom, every year my grandma would get him the new one. And after a while, Dad didn't wear belt buckles anymore. And he was like, thanks, Mom. Anyway, so I inherited that collection. I've got every single National Finals Rodeo belt buckle from, I think, 1983. Let's see what else we have here.
It almost hit your birthday balloon.
That would be something else. The cat is also up here, so we might hear a squeal. This one is, I'd rather be fishing. I remember buying this one at a thrift store or flea market one time. For the record, I wouldn't. That was not the cat. That was something else. All right. So my alma mater and Rick's as well, Harding University, got the HU belt buckle.
Nice. I
Yep.
didn't know that was a
That's
thing.
legit.
How did you get one of those?
I bought it in the bookstore.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Who needs a class ring when you could have a class belt buckle?
Yeah.
Hey, oh, that's very true. Also, I found this one, and it is a bison, which was our mascot.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. I've got a lot of classic rock bands. Leonard Skinner as a Southern rocker.
Okay.
A Southerner, is a big deal.
Man.
Well, I used to wake the morning.
I just can't
before
wait
the
until they
rooster
start
crows.
hitting stuff in the background.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Led Zeppelin. Now this one is a Pacifica.
Oh.
This is worth like $200-$300.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
And I've had it. Oh, I mean, look at it glisten. You see, y'all
It
see,
looks like holographic.
it needs to be,
glistening.
like a
Is it not?
Pokemon card. It's
Yeah, it totally
holographic,
is.
like a Pokemon card. Speaking of
want it.
Pokemon, I have a Charizard belt buckle.
That's
No.
cool.
What?
Yep. It's obnoxious. I'll be honest.
That is
Yes.
very
Ooh.
obnoxious.
I find
And
my eyes drawn to your waist.
I need to wear this one when next time I hang out with Freddie. I got a number of other odd ones. Makita power tools. Like, why do I have
Okay.
this?
That's
It's just a
like
good-looking.
That's when like
It's like a man
collections go
card,
like a
but-
little too far.
yeah.
When you're like, these are brands I don't support or even acknowledge. Like, I don't even recognize this brand.
Oh, here's a fun one. The Hyrule Shield.
Ooh,
Okay,
that's a cool
okay.
one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
I've got Decepticons.
Nice.
This one I
Heck
wore
yeah.
to the premiere of all the Transformers movies in high school.
Nice.
And if you press the button in the middle, it goes, "What I've done." You know that song?
No.
Do you
No,
have?
I'm
I
kidding.
love
Do you
that
have? Like,
song.
did you have that
It
like a pickup line you would use when you're wearing that belt buckle?
It's very pointy, actually. I would wear this to the movies, and it would like dig into my belly the entire. And so I like had to remind myself, don't wear the Decepticon belt buckle to the movies because it hurts. Got a couple Razorback belt buckles
Whooping.
and Batman. This one might be my biggest.
Oh, nice.
Big
That's a
Batman
big
belt
one.
buckle.
Mhm.
I've got another Batman belt buckle, also sharp.
Ooh.
You could signal Batman with the other one, and you could
Batarang.
hurt somebody with
All
this
right,
one.
you think I
That
can
looks
stick
like
it into
a
my wall?
throwing
Do it.
star.
Yeah, here we go. One. Nope, that's Freddy's picture. Let me find something else. All right, Baby Yoda. You think I can hit Baby Yoda?
Do it.
What? Dude, put that.
Oh, no, I just punctured a copy of Dark Empire. So I'll deal with that later. Okay.
Why did you throw it?
I didn't actually puncture it. It had a graceful falling with style. A Fleetwood Mac. Got the Fleetwood Mac one. The Avett Brothers. Pittsburgh
love them.
Steelers. So I'm really covering all of my hobbies here. Hey. All right, and now for the big finale, my Star Wars belt buckles.
Yes.
I have a grand total of 3 of them.
Nice.
Oh my goodness.
That's 3 more than I
It's gonna
have.
take all night.
I'm going to be honest with you. One of them is missing.
And then there were 2.
Yeah, I don't see it in the bag. All right. Millennium Falcon.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. And one more. This one is, without a doubt.
Hold on, there's a shadow that just moved across your room. Please explain.
Is it the cat?
I mean, yeah, I've got my cat up here with me.
It was probably one of those things from Galaxy of Fear.
She has not moved this entire time I've been up here, so that's scary.
Emily, because there was definitely something moving in the background.
That's awesome, and I'm terrified. Okay,
Yep.
Here we go. My favorite belt buckle. Oh, I see it moving. I see what you mean.
Maybe,
okay, I think it's my shadow.
Maybe it's just
yeah, it's the Jedi robes, Rick. It's the Jedi
Okay.
robes. Here we go. We got to get on with this thing. This Stormtrooper helmet
nice.
in all three
That
dimensions. Can you see?
bulky.
It is very bulky. Also, I've worn it
Yep.
so much. Look how beat up this thing is. I mean, this one clearly has been beaten on by some Ewoks.
You know what would make
Is
it
that
better?
a stormtrooper on your waist, or you just really
Fashionable.
fan of Star Wars?
I want to know is why
You
isn't
just really like it.
there a puppet?
What, a puppet belt buckle?
Yeah.
How would that even work?
I mean, you were halfway there with the stormtrooper face. Just imagine if it had a movable jaw.
Don't follow that train.
Yeah, I'm not connecting.
I don't know.
Oh my
Anyway, yeah,
goodness.
hey, if you're out in the wild, and now my fingers are so dirty. Apparently, I've not cleaned that collection since I moved. Love that. Awesome. Anyway, if you're out in the world and you see some Star Wars belt buckles, I hope you think of me. If you're looking at somebody's waist that glistens with hardware, I hope you think of me.
Hardware.
And my massive belt buckle collection. And also, hey, what is your unique collection? What is the one thing that you own a ton of for some strange reason that you could not possibly begin to explain to a stranger? I want to know. Join us in the Legends Look Back Discord channel. And without further ado, Rick, are you tired of hearing me talk about belt buckles?
I'm ready to go.
Well, regardless, either way, let's do it. Let's go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Legends Look Back, proudly part of the YOUTINI Podcast Network. This is a Star Wars books podcast for people who still wear shoulder pads that rival Dash Rendar and also your mom.
Oh, you're not wrong. She still wears them.
Where we celebrate our rich EU history as well as dive into lesser-known Star Wars classics. I'm your host, Jared Mays, and I'm joined by the guy who totally understood the assignment when I said, for our Halloween episode, why don't you wear a costume? I expected him to wear a Star Wars costume. He didn't, but he's got a costume, and he's Freddie C. How are you, Freddie?
Or did I?
Oh, I didn't see those. He's
that's
for our audio listeners. Freddie is wearing an admiral's hat and
captain.
Yeah, sure, captain.
What? It
Captain's
doesn't
hat.
have a rank insignia on it.
It's not a Star Wars captain's hat. It's just a modern naval vessel's captain's hat.
And
So I'm
he's
actually
wearing
a
an imperial
character.
robe.
I'm a character right now. I've got the imperial robe. Looks kind of posh, right?
Okay.
Got the
Oh,
pipe, right?
yeah.
So,
Are you a character of Star Wars?
Wolfie
kind of a
Lauren.
detective. And then, of course, my captain's hat, which we'll go with Admiral. I'm Grand Admiral Thrawn right now.
See, okay, Wolfie Lauren
Not
looks like
quite
he
blue,
needs a
though.
pipe in his mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
you
need like a
should've-
blue light on you or something.
You should have
yeah, I can do
committed
that.
to the bit, Freddie, and painted your face blue.
Here, I got the ears. They're blue.
There we go. There we go. Well, happy to be with you here celebrating our fully costumed episode. And we are also joined by somebody who just a few moments ago finally found something to put on in order to make himself look acceptable for the sake of our costume spectacular tonight. And that is Rick Ray.
Yes, I am actually twinsies with Freddie. We're wearing the same imperial robe. So, yeah, I realized that once you put yours on. So, yeah, Darth Vader twinsy robes.
Oh, you're
Love it,
so
man.
cute.
I know, it's great.
Adorable. And I thought your Freddie and Jared's bromance was
See,
cute.
look at that.
Look at y'all.
Absolutely. You know who's not matching any of us, but somehow always manages to look schnazzier than any of us, and that is Emily Daybeck. How are you, Emily?
Ooh.
I'm doing well, Jared. Today I'm sporting my athleisure shirt that is slightly reminiscent of a clone trooper, or not clone trooper.
Okay, I can see that.
Which it's pretty much like the closest thing I have. But except for the full courtship of Leia like wedding dress, which I was reluctant to bring out again because it is pretty uncomfortable. But I'm here and I'm super excited to talk costumes and thwart you all on the race to the finish. Can't wait.
Oh, that reminds me, I need to pull up my list. So let's get into it. All right, let's get into it here.
Emily, you could be like a Imperial officer about to go work out somewhere.
Yeah.
On the vessel, right?
That's right.
So on your way there.
See that. Absolutely.
They work out.
Now that she's challenged us, let's look at our tallies for the Legends race to the finish. I have good news and bad news, depending on how you want to spin it. And that is our buddy Tyler has tapped out of the competition. Tyler has tapped out of the competition. Now, on the one hand, that's good news because we all beat him. But it's also bad news because he has decided to leave the team at YOUTINI for personal reasons, is stepping aside to spend more time with his family. And we do applaud you for that, Tyler. Sometimes you got to make those tough life choices, and you gotta cut the fat. And, no offense, guys, but sometimes you've got to, pare down the extracurriculars in order to focus on what matters most. We understand, and we'll hold it against you and haunt you for the rest of time, like Exar Kun. But his final number is 8, at least formally here for the year. And I feel like we need to set some parameters. It is, after all, late October. We're getting to the end of our year. What do you think? I think we need to finalize a couple of details here on when we come around on finishing the competition, right?
Canon books don't count.
That's true. Yeah, Freddie, you can't count Line of the Jedi.
Yep. Unfortunately.
I'm saying that we don't try to do a recap of the whole competition the end of this year, as much as we give ourselves as much reading time as possible to where the competition ends December 31st. 11:59 p.m. And then the first show of the new year will be our race to the finish recap. What do you think?
Okay.
Rick, if you're talking, perhaps you're muted or delayed or something else entirely, maybe a cocktail of the two. Just try it again whenever you're ready. Okay. So Rick has given me a thumbs up, which means that
everything might be okay or it might not be.
It means everything's fine. Fine. It's fine. How are you? Fine. So what do you think, Freddie? Yeah, the 11:59 December 31st thing worked for you?
I think it's a good plan. Yeah, I think it's a good plan. We could wrap up the Thursday before, but the end of the year is still not here, and I think that's the number one thing, right? Is how many can you finish by the end of the year?
That is a possibility. We could do the Thursday before, like the last show of the year. I do want to, give some proper time off around the holidays too, though.
Yeah.
So unless you want to work the week of Christmas and New Year's, Freddie.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Check. Can you hear me now?
Unless I'm allowed to have an eggnog. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Congratulations to Rick.
I'm back.
For fixing his microphone on the fly.
I am back.
Did you have an opinion, Rick, on our
yes,
December
I
31st
do
deadline?
Have an opinion. Thank you very much. I think that Freddie has a 2-hour advantage because he is in a different time zone. So, foul.
So
you can listen to a book at 4 times speed.
Good point.
Yep. So, other than that, though,
I'll say this much, Rick.
Time.
Even with the 2-hour advantage, I'm still going to beat him.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I have no idea what my total is at. So, Emily, what do you think? December 31st, good with you?
That seems fair. Let's just pick a time zone and settle on that.
I mean, there's only one time zone, right? There's God's time zone,
Eastern.
Central Time.
Central Time.
It's just because I live here now. And we lost you again, Rick. Or perhaps everyone is delayed. And if so, I'm going to start sweating this. Okay.
I'm not delayed. We can keep chatting.
Rick is troubleshooting. That's good news, Freddie. That's good news. All right. Where are you at on your race to the finish there, Freddie, while we troubleshoot a couple things here?
Well, I have to admit, there's a certain point where similar to Celebration, right? After Celebration, you just get an onrush of during Celebration, you get an onrush of Star Wars content. After Celebration, you're just like, okay, I need to chill out for a little bit. That was a lot. It's almost too much. Your what is it? Your dopamine, serotonin levels sky high the entire time, and then you come back to normal life, and it's just like, okay, I need to take it easy. I feel like that's what happened to me after I read, what was it, Maul, Lockdown, Shadowhunter, and Light of the Jedi. So you caught up. You caught up to me.
All right. Let's see where I am at. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I've lost count. So did you say what your number was, Freddie? Your definitive where you are right now?
No, I need to find out right now. Let me let me do that.
All right, wonderful. How about we cut to tech difficulties, and then we'll come back in just a minute with everybody's cameras working properly as well as their audio. So without further ado, folks, hang in there with us. We will be right back. If Rick is not gone.
Almost we're still here. Well,
I'm just going to leave us to flounder.
11.
I love this.
I'm at 11 right now.
All right. I've got
11.
That's pretty good.
Yes.
That's double digits. Way to go, Freddie. Way to go.
Yeah,
Here's my issue. I have now read 298 Star Wars books. So the good news is I'm going to hit my 300 by the end of the year. The bad news is I'm not going to finish Legends by the end of the year, which is what I wanted to do. So,
that's a lot. I mean,
bittersweet.
I have New Jedi Order to get through, and there's no way I'm going to finish that till December, right? I mean, that's going on till maybe next December or a few more Decembers.
Wait, did you count? Hold on a second, Freddie? Did you count Light of the Jedi?
I did not count Light of the Jedi. That's rule number 1. No canon books.
You're beating me.
You're beating me too. I think I'm only at 9.
Yeah.
I don't think I've moved since we last spoke.
Yeah, I had some time. It was post MBA. I'm like, okay, I've got some time besides work. I've got extra time to do stuff, and I just downloaded a bunch of audiobooks. Found some audiobooks I hadn't even listened to yet. And honestly, that it's just the fastest way to get through Star Wars, in my opinion.
All right. So I found that I can actually sit and read a Star Wars book with my eyes faster than I can do an audiobook.
Okay.
But I don't like to speed them up much. Maybe 1.2, but I don't like to do a whole lot of that. But the fact that I can go do other things, bike rides, dishwashing, dog walking.
That's massive. Yeah.
Leaf raking, all that good stuff. So yeah, my official count is 9. I'm at 9. This does not count the 2 books that I read right before we started the competition because I was over eager and we got a head start, and Tyler told me that I couldn't count them. But Tyler's gone now, so I'm counting them. I'm at 11. I'm at 11. No, my official count is 9. Emily
that's right,
is at 9.
We were all at 8, right? We were all at 8 last
time around. Yeah.
I think, and I was at 9.
3 books.
And now you guys have all caught up or passed. I took a break from Star Wars. I've read a couple other different books just to kind of mix it up a bit.
How dare you?
I know. I'm like reading Theodore Roosevelt's autobiography and
Man of the
Love
Forest.
Does by Rob Goff, which is
that's good. That's a great one. All right, I endorse that one, but it doesn't count for the race to the finish. So
that's
right
fair.
now, it looks like unless Rick pops in with a better number, Freddie is in the lead with 11. But Emily has the virtue of having diversified. So congratulations.
Yes.
So we'll let Rick recover here for a second. Let's move on to our.
Oh,
hey, Rick is back.
10.
And he's at 10.
I'm last.
Can you hear me?
Oh,
well, you're telling me for last. I'm also at 9.
you a 10.
We're last,
question.
Jared.
Does Dark Empire count as a book?
It was one you hadn't read. You read the entire series, right?
Yeah.
So I'll count that.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to our recent acquisitions. Congratulations to Freddie for being in first place.
Yeah, good
but
job.
better
I
watch
think I
out
was capable of doing
because
that,
I'm
honestly.
extremely competitive. That's
Yeah,
right.
we're coming for you.
I know you are.
You should be afraid.
I'm gonna let you just zoom right past me. I'm gonna leisure on through this.
Freddie's
Bad
just
news.
sitting back with his pipe.
Just one more than Rick, please.
I am out of audiobooks, and
Oh.
I'm into some rough ones. I'm going to say that much.
I got like 4 left, so I'm definitely coming.
Okay. All right. That's good news. All right. So let's move on to our recent acquisitions, guys. I just had a birthday, and I am happy to report.
Birthday.
Hey,
Okay.
I'm not actually trying to do that thing where you like say, "Oh yeah, hey, it's my birthday," and then pause for applause. That's not what this is.
You never got to show off your birthday balloons.
Yeah.
The birthday, I didn't show off the birthday balloons.
They were discussed, but not shown.
I just lost my light. That's not good. I just backed right over it like my best friend from high school's mailbox.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
That guy ran over that dog.
Oh man.
Go, Rick.
That hurts. It
Rick
hurts so bad.
Here we
right
go.
over
The
that
birthday
one.
balloons.
Wow,
That's
that's a big
My-
boy.
Hey.
right. My staff got me some balloons, and this one is
Those are never going to pop, by the way.
this one's pure nightmare fuel because
Like half Pokemon, half Star Wars.
the back of his head
Oh,
This is him.
is the same
Whoa!
vampire tooth face. Look at the vampire teeth.
That is a Pokemon. That's like a Pikachu turned green
Yes.
and a
Yeah.
robe put on him.
That's a good point.
So, and then there's an R2D2 back there in the corner that's kind of deflated. So, he didn't hold his air as well. So now would be a good time, Rick, for that sound where R2 makes that sad noise.
Oh yeah, let me.
While you find it, here are my. Yeah,
There
there
it
we go.
That was
Not the noise I had in mind, but it's fine. All right, we're not just going to cycle through all the noises. All right, here we go. My Star Wars birthday presents. My wife found this. It's not the most perfect condition, but it's good enough for me, and it was the fact that she found a Legends hardcover I didn't own at an affordable price meant the world to me.
Ooh,
And it is the Bounty Hunter Wars.
nice.
Oh, nice.
That's legit.
It's very cool. Yeah, very cool. I like it. And then also Allegiance by Timothy Zahn.
Cool.
Nice.
And this one's a shorty. So it's like the short books. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
They're not as tall.
That's
Oh,
My
yeah.
staff also got me these Star Wars playing cards. So
Oh, that's cool.
I haven't used them yet, but I got to save them until I hang out with dealer Rick.
Hey.
Remember that time you dressed like a car dealer?
Yep.
All right. And then I got one more present from my stepmom. Have I shown this off on stream?
Uh,
It's one of those presents that is like so weird that you hate it.
Is it
And you
Sticky
hate
Boss Nouse's cousin?
No, I've got all those. This one. Oh, CJ says those are nicer than my cars, and then they corrected with cards. So it's saying like those cards are nicer than my cards. What I understood that as was those balloons are nicer than my automobiles.
Yeah.
Which is not what they meant. All right. Here's this weird present that I received. It's so weird that I hate it so much that I love it. Are you with me?
I get it. I get that.
It's an itty bitty. Y'all know about these?
An itty bitty.
Oh yeah.
itty bitty.
Hallmark, right?
That's right. It's a Hallmark plushie. I have a Thrawn one, and I have the Cantina band. And now, rounding out, it's an official collection at this point. Now that I've got 3 of them, Greedo.
Whoa.
Look at his weird face.
Yikes.
That is very weird
I'm
looking.
having a weird response in me right now where I feel like that should be cute, but I'm like
Definitely,
repelled.
Look at the way his face suctions.
It's like what?
Yeah, she gave it to me, and I was like, "Oh, thank you." Wait a second.
That's a powerful response.
Wait a
for
second.
such
I
a
was like,
small
I kind of
plush.
like it. So I appreciate somebody who's like, there's no way he has this.
Yeah.
So there you go. I'll take it. So those are my acquisitions. What y'all got? Any new acquisitions? He said
Emily,
that snout needs
Rick?
to be censored. I appreciate that. Definitely agree.
Rick, we lost you there.
Rick.
Rick's poor audio.
Emily,
tonight.
did you have anything?
I have no new acquisitions.
Well, you
Okay.
are planning yet another move. So now that I'm like in the middle of it with you, moving
but I do
home to
look-
home.
I look through
Oh,
the
yeah.
Star Wars. I look through the books every single time I go thrifting, which is fairly frequently. And I haven't found a single thing. It's just been a little disappointing.
I think I'm back.
There we go. All
There
right.
you
I don't know
are.
what's
What you
going
got,
on.
Rick?
All right, I'm just gonna say my weekly one-up Jared is just to say that my mother-in-law gave me a subscription to Star Wars Insider.
Oh, cool. That's very good.
That was Christmas though, but yeah. So anyway, I do have some stuff, but someone else want to show off some things?
Yeah,
Sure,
pretty
I
much you
can,
get that while he looks
yeah.
for it.
They're not new acquisitions, but I'm going through the tomes, the archives, if you will, and sorting through a lot of Star Wars things and finding a lot of Star Wars things that I hadn't seen in a long time. One of them was something I honestly don't remember where it came from, but it's pretty cool. It's an R2-D2 made from recycled materials.
Oh,
Check that out.
Whoa.
And it's got some spark plugs right here.
did you make it?
No, I didn't, but I must have picked this up at like a fair of some sort or something.
That's awesome.
And I think the body is made out of a spray can. I don't know if you can tell.
That's
so
really
cool.
cool.
Yeah, pretty sick.
For
So
me,
I found this and I thought
like,
it was
as a
awesome.
Star Wars fan, to find something that I've never seen before is such a thrilling feeling.
Yeah.
Just
this is
chasing
pretty
that high.
Yeah, it is.
Mm.
Totally. It's got like some bolts and nuts everywhere. The head
Wait.
turns too.
Okay.
Uh,
How
And then
how heavy is that thing, Freddie?
it's pretty heavy, man. You could legitimately knock somebody out with this thing. It's probably just with my hand. I mean, it's pretty hefty. I would say an easy 10 pounds, no doubt.
My husband has
cool.
a similar thing, but it's a tank. And it's like
Okay.
kind of made with like assembled bolts and
Yeah.
chains and things. For the
Takes
I
some
thought you
skill.
were going to say my husband has something like that, but manly.
No.
Not R2. And then
We've got
I have-
random tank parts all over the house.
got one
Of
more
course you
thing,
do.
which
That doesn't surprise me at all. Somehow.
I'll bring them out
Let's see.
sometime.
yeah, or who is it? CJ in the chat called it a Dalek. As if a Dalek and R2-D2 had a baby. That's what that thing is. Cool. Yeah, I agree with you. Then I found this other thing here. This
All right.
is another thing in the tomes. I had, blew off the dust, and what was staring back at me was this.
Oh,
gosh.
wow. That is a weird smile on that Jabba's face.
It's hard to see. There you go. Look at that smile.
What is that? Is it a black series?
It's a black series. Yeah, Jabba the Hutt. I don't know how long I've had this. I have two of them.
Why
One
you-
to open and one
To
to
send to Rick.
keep
They're
in the
both
box.
unopened.
Or
one to sit in the storage and the other one to sit alongside it.
a black
And one
series
to crave the
Java.
power. Yeah, right.
yeah, one to-
Exactly. There you go.
one
Rule
to
of two.
crave it.
That's why, Jared.
That's fantastic. I love it. Rule
And
of
then I
two.
found I don't know where it's at right now, but I found a Darth Maul figurine, and it had the original price tag on it, and it was KB Toys. I'm not sure if you guys remember KB.
Oh
Toys.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So it was a KB Toys sticker right on it. And it, a lot of people take the price tags off of their figurines, but I feel like leaving the price tag on leaves even more nostalgia on that
With
piece.
that
So
KB
anyway,
toys, that's for sure.
oh yeah, KB Toys. For those of you who don't know what KB Toys is, it was just like your standard. I would say it was like a micro Toys R Us inside of a mall in most
Yeah.
places.
It was the quintessential mall toy store.
Yeah. Yeah.
They always had good Star Wars in there too.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, best Star Wars toys you could find. It was like there were three places. If you were if you're a hardcore hunter, but there was Target, Kmart, and KB Toys as some of the big ones.
Kmart.
Kmart.
Nice.
Yeah.
F's in the chat
Yeah,
for
that's
Kmart.
right. F's in the chat. There you go.
Yeah,
So that's all I have.
That's
Two
blast from the
Jabbas.
past. When our Kmart went out of business in Massachusetts, my first year living there, I literally cleaned them out of every Star Wars thing they had.
As one does when a
That's
Kmart
right.
goes out
Yep.
of business. So I did look up to see what a Black Series Jabba is worth because I was like, why would Freddie have two? They're about $100. But what was really the gem is in the people also ask section, there's a question that I guess many people ask, which is Jabba in love with Han? And I did not realize that was ever
It's relevant
a
to the Black
question.
series.
Yes. And why is it? Anyway,
He does
the
put
real
the
story
carbonite on the wall to admire
That's
him.
the real story.
That's
Jabba was
fair.
jealous of Leia. He wanted Han to himself.
Oh.
That's it.
Oh my
simple.
gosh, that's great.
I learned something new today.
Oh wow, Rick, are you ready with your acquisitions? Rick's got the struggle bus happening tonight. He's the bus driver of the struggle bus. In fact,
Yeah.
He
it
is.
does look like Freddie, you are stuck there. So
okay.
you're going to carry the show for a little while. Here we go. All right. So Rick is looking for his acquisitions here. We're going to give Rick like a good 10 seconds before we move on to our next segment. And we're going to see if he comes back up from the Rancor pit that he apparently just accidentally slid down into. Okay. He's trying to plug in the cords. And
his Halloween costume this year is a Dianoga. Or is it Dianoga? Is that right? Diagonal?
What? Down in the bowels of the Death Star.
Okay. I only have a few seconds before my mic cuts out.
Your acquisitions, Rick.
Yes, here we go. Can you still hear me? Good. All right.
Yes.
I don't know if I showed this off. Star Wars and philosophy.
Ooh.
It's
Ooh.
yeah, it sounds fun, right? Can't go wrong. Then Star Wars Essential Chronology. It's like the time. Like this is really helpful for reading Legends.
Yeah, it's some old school Legend stuff.
Yeah, and without having to go to the book or anything like that for your chronology. This is not Legends, but
wow.
the convention
That's
Masters and Apprentice.
That's really nice.
Pretty good price. Came with the broad art cover. I love this cover, so I found it for.
And we lost you, but that was a great acquisition. Congratulations, Rick, on getting 3 acquisitions in.
Thank you. I'm back.
Okay.
I have to keep replugging my mic every time it happens until I find a permanent solution. Then this guy,
nice.
he was just at this Target.
How?
I don't have that.
Dude, how is that just at a Target?
I think it's a reprint, but it I was
cool.
I had to get them.
Tell the good folks what it is.
Let's see. This is the Star Wars Droids version of Boba Fett. So he's blue with his coloring is just off, right? Like it's his Beskar armor is a little different. I'm trying to think. So this came out
Perhaps that's
early
the correct
80s.
coloring.
That's true.
Then The Empire Strikes Back messed it up. There's always the chance that happened. So that's really cool, Rick. I might actually have to grab that one myself. I'm counting it, as Legends.
Yeah.
So
and then
that psychology book, by the way, or philosophy? I think it's philosophy, right?
Yeah,
pretty solid.
Psychology.
Oh, is it psychology? Same. Then I got the complete Star Wars encyclopedia, the 3-volume with the slipcase. This was a Prime Day deal, so thank you, Amazon, for making it like.
And we lost you.
There we go.
But, shout out to Jeffrey
never know.
Bezos for hooking Rick up with the Star Wars.
Rick is over there just saying moist 20 times over and over again.
Oh my god.
He is not, and we're moving on. Next segment, Legends Lookout. Freddie, lead the way and tell the good folks about the new Legends Funko Pop that was just released.
Yes, I just saw this too. So new Legends Funko Pop just dropped, and it's one of our favorite droids who tries to kill you, I believe. And that's the Funko Pop Proxy from The Force Unleashed. I believe his whole intent was to try to kill, or he was trying to kill him. Something like that.
Yeah, he can like shapeshift hologram technologies. Voiced by David W. Collins. I got his autograph at Celebration. I accidentally threatened his life in the process. It was very embarrassing. But shout out to David for being a bro.
He's a good sport. He's a good sport.
That's right. And not embarrassing me for it. I believe, Rick, whenever you've got a chance, I know you got a lot going on over there. We get some images to show the good folks. I have not purchased this yet, but I'm strongly considering it. It's very fun to get a Legends Funko. And this one has a special feature, a very 90s special feature, you might say. In fact, all right, here it is. Yep, Proxy. Look at that bad boy.
Nice.
And we might have 1 or 2 more. Okay, yep, very good. And look at this in the next photo. He glows in the dark.
Ooh.
That's something.
Isn't it cool? There's no other
It's
Funko
nightmare
like it.
food. Reminds me of the stream I had the other day.
No, that's all right. Emily, while you apparently want to say something, you can move on to, instead of your dreams, talk about it's like an ongoing bit on the show that I don't like to hear about people's dreams. I don't know how this became a thing.
He just doesn't like to hear about my hopes and dreams. It's okay.
No, I've got some hopes and dreams, and they are coming to a reality near you. I don't know why I said it that way.
It's more belt buckles.
Tell the good folks about the Essential Legends collection, please.
Okay. So Wave 5 releases next week, which is November 1st of 2022. It includes the Old Republic Revan, which I have read, and the Old Republic Deceived, which I have started but lost interest in, and Rogue Squadron, The Back to War, plus an unabridged audiobook, which I'm assuming is new.
Yeah. I've
That's
got
fantastic
to hook you guys up with. So,
yes, please.
Yeah.
Review time.
Absolutely. So very fun to get the next wave. These are beautiful. I love
they're
the
gorgeous jewel
kind of
tones.
The purple combo.
Yeah.
Appreciate the 3.
Yeah, totally. I like
coming across there, which is awesome, and excited to have another wave. Here's the problem: my shelf that has my Essential Legends collection is now full. So gonna have to build another shelf, I guess. I'm gonna go ask my wife if she's seen the jigsaw anywhere. There was that one time that I jigsawed my, almost said wife, wall. That's the word I'm looking for. Jigsawed my
in
wall
a magic show
in order to build my Star Wars bookshelves. So we'll see about what I can do there. But very excited to get these in our hands. And in the World of Legends news, Emily, you remember when we got to go see Tales of the Jedi premiere at Celebration?
I do. Oh my gosh, it was adorable. So there we were. Jared had sneaked us into the ADA side of the Star Wars convention.
I didn't sneak us. I was legitimately ADA. I've got a bad back.
That's true.
I had the pass, and Emily was
but
my
it
plus
happened
one.
to be, I was sneaked in to a lot of things because I have a baby in a stroller and people just don't say no to you. You can just go wherever you want. So there I was, Darth Tumnus. We're just hanging out, and we saw the Ahsoka Tales of the Jedi. What was the title of that one? Do you remember?
I don't know. I call it the one with the mom.
It was the mom. It was very maternal. And the whole time I was watching it, I was like straight up triggered because I was separated from my daughter at the time because she was like home with, I wasn't separated. So she was home with her dad. And I was just at the Star Wars convention by myself.
Was that the same day that was the anniversary of my mom's death too?
It was.
So
it was
I was
very
like
emotional
super
day.
emotional too. And
so we were both just sitting there
like,
like definitely crying.
It was
just like side by side trying to like hide it.
It was a
from the
vibe
other
for
person.
sure. Yeah, there were some big feelings. But
it was really sweet though, and so good. Oh my goodness.
The good news is the rest of them are out now.
Yay!
And so these have been released on Disney Plus. Have you 3 had the chance to watch these?
I have not.
Not yet. We were watching Andor last night.
I was banking on you saying no, that you hadn't yet, because after all, you're Legends people, and we're stuck in 1994. The cool thing about this is it does homage 1994 with, there's 6 whatever Tales of the Jedi, that is the title and logo from the classic 90s comic, and there's nothing homaged from the classic 90s comic, which is fine.
Yeah.
And I'm not bitter at all. But there is homage paid to a character who has a very rich Legends history, and that is none other than, can I get a drum roll, please? You guessed it. Yaddle's back, baby. Yaddle gets her 15 seconds of fame. By 15 seconds, I do mean 15 minutes. And Yaddle is featured in one of these. There's like 6 episodes. We are not doing spoilers for Tales of the Jedi here because none of my other 3 co-hosts have seen it yet. But I have and loved it. And Yaddle is especially great. That's some for our audio listeners. We're currently looking at a picture I have labeled Yaddle. This is some early concept art of Yaddle. What y'all think about Yaddle Jesus?
It's definitely reminiscent of Jesus.
Brazil.
For sure.
I think of Brazil when
yes.
I see this.
I like
Sao
the big
Paulo.
Christ statue. And, yeah.
T-posing.
Rio. Sorry.
So this was some early concept for Yoda that then was turned into Yaddle. The character became a thing. Some Doug Chang art. I love it. And it's super spooky in the spirit of Halloween. Now, we're going to play a little game here about Yaddle. Y'all ready for this?
Yes.
We're ready.
After this episode about Yaddle of Tales of the Jedi, I went back to work and went on with my life. And I kept thinking about Yaddle, as one does. And I have decided that I was going to go down a deep, dark, extremely ridiculous Yaddle rabbit hole. And I spent about an hour Googling Yaddle. And telling everybody who would listen everything that they never knew they needed to know about Yaddle. And
I
so
cannot wait.
I have turned it into a game so that we can feature this on the show. Here's the game.
Okay.
It's we're going to call it I love the way that nope, that's not what Skooma Joe said. He said true Yaddlers never stop thinking about Yaddle lore. I thought he said Yaddle truthers. So that's what we're going to call this. Yaddle truthers.
Yaddle truthers.
Legends edition.
Down.
I'm sure it's just scrolled right across the bottom of the screen
character?
there. So she's featured in a handful, and by that I seriously, truly do mean only like 5, 6 legend stories, and they're memorable. So memorable that in fact I was like, I think I remember something about her, but I had to look it up. And I found some other stuff along the way. Here's what we're gonna do. We've got 4 or 5 rounds of the game, and not every round is the same because I did this last minute and messed it up. So in the first round, you're going to guess which of these facts is true. One of these is true. 2 are not true. I made them up. Are you ready?
Yes.
Freddie?
Go.
Here we go. How did Yaddle die in Legends?
Oh.
Yeah, right out the gate, death. Why is that the first one? That's an oversight on my part, let's be honest. But that's what we're doing. Number 1, she died in a duel against Darth Maul. Number 2, she died by absorbing a planet-killing dose of poison through the Force. And hey, by the way, everybody in the chat, you're welcome to play. I'll let you get your guesses in before we reveal the final answer. And option C, she died by thwarting a domestic terror attack attempt on Coruscant by a crew from the Black Sun Crime Syndicate.
That was elaborate, that last one.
Yeah, that's going to be a bit of a... I can't tell if that was like you trying to overcompensate or if it was actually the truth.
You'll never know until in like 1 minute when I tell you.
So, Emily, you say C, right?
I'm kind of thinking that, but he was super enthusiastic, which makes me think that he made it up, kind of.
Poker face.
No, he was too excited. He only gets that way about things.
What was B again? B was the planet dose?
Yeah, the planet dose of poison.
You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and say that one.
That was...
But I definitely... I'm just playing the game here, but I feel like Emily might have the win.
Rick, if you want to put in a guess and your mic isn't working, you can just mime it, and we'll read it out to the good folks.
Or just do 1, 2, 3.
I think I'm working.
Yeah, okay.
For now, and I wasn't listening enough to have a good answer. So,
how do you think Yaddle died?
3, definitely 3.
You want 1, 2, or C?
The correct answer. You are both correct. Is that Rick is wrong. B, she absorbed a planet-killing dose of poison through the Force.
Okay.
It was also a terror attack, but separate from C. So there is another story where Jango Fett and Zam Wessel thwart a domestic terror attempt by some criminals. One of them's a Doug. It's really cool. It's a great story. It's
not Doug, like Quailman Doug.
No, not like Quailman. Yes, correct. Walks on his hands. His underwear is under his clothes. Maybe? We don't know about Doug physiology. Here we go.
I didn't think they had underwear in space.
Yikes.
Moving on. Number 2. Here is our second competition. Once again, in this round, one of these answers is correct. What color was Yaddle's lightsaber in Legends? Blue, green, or orange?
Dark teal.
Blue, green, or orange. What color was Yaddle's lightsaber? And then for bonus points, what color do you think it is in Tales of the Jedi?
I don't think I know much about Yaddle.
I don't know.
You're learning tonight, Freddie. You are learning tonight because I have a lot to say about Yaddle.
Okay.
Skua thinks it was orange. I will second that vote just because I'm curious about an orange lightsaber.
I'm taking a half a point away because you used the lifeline.
I'm gonna go with. I feel like okay, understanding what the colors of the lightsabers mean. If this is taken into consideration, right? Green is supposed to be the wise. I guess the wise,
really?
right? I think so. And then
It's like houses in Harry Potter. I didn't know this.
Yeah, in KOTOR it is. It's not necessarily consistent throughout all of Legends because what is?
No, yeah.
But yeah, you basically choose your class in that game with your.
I had
lightsaber
no
power.
idea. So I reserve the right to amend my decision based on what Freddie says.
I am very confident that it's orange.
Okay, so
Okay, Rick.
I think
You know
everyone's got an orange right now.
Rick
right?
cheated.
What are you gonna say? Rick cheated. He looked it up. He saw the picture.
AKA, he saw me tweet it yesterday.
It was orange.
It is orange.
I was gonna say green.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there it is. Look at Yaddle. Oh yeah,
Uh,
he cheated because I literally sent him the image to put on the show. Also, look
That's
at Yaddle's mane in this image.
That is quite the main, quite the
70s
coif,
Yaddle.
Yep.
That's
coif,
right.
if you will.
It is really something else. Shout out to Yaddle for looking fly. So, who has the most points so far? You're both tied at. Did you guess orange too, Rick?
I feel like we're all winning. Does anybody feel like that? Like I'm learning so much.
That's
let's see.
that's very true. When we're talking about Yaddle, everybody wins.
Everyone wins.
We're
There's no
becoming Yaddle
downside
truth-
here.
What is it now? Yaddle, the true Yaddle fan, or the
Yaddle truthers.
The Yaddle
Colon.
truthers.
The
Legends
Yaddle
edition.
Truthers, man.
Here we go. Next round. Her force powers. I won't reveal to you the parameters of the rules for this round until you've finished. Let's pretend, at least for now, like it's got the exact same rules as the previous two rounds. Number 1. She had a force power that could sever a Darksider's connection to the force. B. She had a power that could make her glow. And C. Force prophecy.
I am going to go with B because that sounds like a marketable product. If you have a glow-in-the-dark Yaddle, who wouldn't want that?
Glow in the dark Yaddle action figures on the Targets and KB Toys near you.
That's right.
Emily guesses, was that C?
Yeah, prophecy for sure.
Force prophecy, Yaddle the prophet.
Yaddle
Standing
the
on street
tattler.
corners with the Yaddle truthers after all.
Yaddle truthers.
Skooma Joe in the chat gives an idea of what the Yaddle truthers are.
She faked her death to avoid having to care for her unwanted son Grogu. That's my daughter saw me. We watched the episode with Yaddle last night with my kids. And she was like, "Yo, is that Yoda's wife?" And I was like, "No." She's like, "Is that Grogu's mom?" And I said, "No." And she's like, "No, but for real, there's a dad and a mom and a baby." And I was like, "Shut it down. Shut it down, kid."
Shut it down.
They
I've
were
seen
celibate.
this before.
Yeah. And
Listen,
also,
we know
what
how
have you been
celibate
doing
the
on
Jedi
internet?
were. Yeah.
We're going to come back to that and Yaddle's illicit love life in a second. What's your guesses, guys, with the Force powers? Prophecy, glowing, and then using the Force to sever a Darksider's dark side powers. Rick
See, Rick, you have one
guesses
or two.
option B, and
I'll go number
yeah. Freddy guesses
I'll do number 1.
number 1.
I don't remember
And-
what that was.
Emily guesses.
Prophecy.
You've told me twice
Prophecy.
already. Prophecy.
Yeah.
The correct answer is both 1 and 2, kind of. So
So not the prophecy at all.
no. That's definitely the one I made up. So, gotcha.
All right.
Also, don't put it past Yaddle. So yeah, she had a power called Force Light, which the book described as extremely powerful and extremely rare, and then went on to describe like 15 characters that could do it. Just the
In
most
typical Legends fashion.
That's the most Legends thing ever. It truly is. So she could Force Light. I don't know if the character in universe glowed visibly to the others,
Okay.
but on the page of the comics, she glowed. And then it resulted in severing the Darksider's force ability. So we're going to go as both of them being true. All right, final round of Yaddle facts with Jared. Here they are. Nope, there's 2 more. No, yeah, here we go. Final round. Here it is. Her personal history. One of these is not true. So 2 of these somehow, remarkably, for some reason, thankfully, are true. Number 1, Yaddle was imprisoned and tortured after trying to bust up a slaving operation. B, she had a brief romantic relationship with Kiadi-Mundi.
Ooh.
And 3, Yaddle trained Impadajoyos brand.
I would love that to be true.
I so want 2 and 3 to be true.
Yeah.
Or is that B and 3 or 2 and C?
I
don't
know that I
B
messed
and
it up
3.
somewhere along the line, but I couldn't tell you what I did.
I think every question.
I messed
Do
up
you want
every
red?
question.
I'm pretty
B
sure.
or 3.
Which how many are true?
2 of
2.
those are true.
Or B.
You want red, B, or 3?
2 or B of them.
Sam again.
Yaddle. I'll find my list. Here we go. Here it is. I've got it. Here, yep. Yaddle was imprisoned and tortured after trying to bust up a slaving operation. Number 2, she had a brief romantic relationship with Kiadi-Mundi. And the third option, Yaddle trained Impadajoyos brand.
I want 1 and 3. Number 3. I want number 3 to be true. I think we all want number 3 to be true.
1 and 3 is Rick's guess. Freddie guesses 3 and
B.
And B. And Emily guesses
I did 3 and B.
and 3. Okay, so only Rick is correct out of those. Number 1,
I think Rick won.
Yaddle was a prisoner
I
of
think Rick
war
did win.
and was tortured for trying to bust up slavery. So that's
No
cool.
way.
That's
I feel a little
you
bit
know,
bad
W.
for not picking that one now.
and Impadajoyos brand. I didn't know this. Yaddle trained
Excellent.
Impadajoyos brand. Yeah,
Can
but I'm
we
so
just
glad I
be
baited
very-
y'all with the love affair with Kiadi-Mundi.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Kiadi-Mundi, isn't he allowed to have children?
He's a polygamist. That's correct.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that Conehead, man. The ladies love it. Moving on. I'm glad everybody has joined us here for Yaddle Facts. If you have more Yaddle Facts, you can email us at legendslookback@youtini.com. Is that the email address? I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Or you can find us in the Legends Look Back Discord channel. We would love to know your Yaddle Facts. And after all, it is the spooky season, the costuming season here as we get ready to wrap up the show. One last final fun segment around the horn for you guys is we want to know about your Star Wars costuming experiences. Tonight, I'm rocking my very warm, very cozy, not at all starting to build up some BO Jedi robes. And we would love to know
convention.
what this has all been like for you guys. Have you ever done a Star Wars costume? If you're in the chat, we'd love to know. If you're in the YouTube, let us know in the comments, all that good stuff. Discord, we'd know about your best Star Wars costumes. Bonus points if you show pics, and if you do, and they're appropriate, we'll show them off on stream, maybe. And I would love to have that opportunity to show them off. The good folks, after all, never cease to surprise us. So, guys, here around the horn, let me ask you, have you ever done a Star Wars cosplay?
Yeah, I have.
What you got, Freddie?
So I don't have any pictures, or I was trying to look for the costumes all week. And one of them is I had a metal worker actually hammer out some Mandalorian armor bits for me.
Oh,
So
cool.
like
What?
the chest, the chest plate, the
Ray,
cod
why did you go
piece even.
first? Oh my gosh.
Oh, I'm going to beat him with my mustache. You know what I'm talking about, Emily.
You know, we all know Jared's
I don't want to answer
cosplay,
this question.
how successful that was. And it was, so there's a couple things there. It's very, 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 very difficult to get around in Star Wars outfits. They're not as mobile as they probably should be, as they make it look to be, I guess.
I mean, so that's my
Mandalorians.
Jedi robes, man.
Oh, see, the Jedi
Your
robes,
sweaty,
that makes
sweaty
sense.
Jedi robe.
But Mandalorian armor, not so maneuverable. And then the one I'm working on still right now is the Stormtrooper armor, and that one I'm actually doing a majority of myself. My only advice, if you're going to do any cosplay, it takes a lot of time and a lot of resources. So make sure you've got the money.
Yeah. And I'm going to show you an example of what it looks like when you don't use a lot of time and resources here and there. So, and Rick, after all, is the king of the thrift store.
He is.
Rick is going to show my Jedi robes are coming open here. All right. Would love to show that off. I do have a question for you there, Freddie. How are you building the Stormtrooper armor? Are you like vacuum sealing isn't it like vacuum forming? Isn't that a thing with Stormtrooper armor?
So I built a vacuum form, but I don't plan to use it because it's very difficult. I need the mold, first of all, of the Stormtrooper outfit or the costume, right? I need to get the what was it? I forget what kind of plastic I used. ABS? I forget. Anyway, you heat the thing up. It's pretty easy to make once you figure out how to do it. But not worth it, honestly. It's better off just to buy. And there's forums. There's a man. I can't remember the forums right now. 501st will definitely lead you to them. But there's a few people who in the community, they do that. They have the ability to do that commercially, and they do it for a lot of people in batches. And it's very raw. Like you have to do a lot of the cutting yourself.
Okay.
Attaching to everything, but they give you the pieces to work with, basically.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and you can actually pay someone probably around $500 to build it for you if you don't want to do it yourself.
I'm glad you're doing it yourself. That's part of the fun.
Yeah.
Emily, you've done a couple of great cosplays here on the show.
You have.
Yeah, my only Star Wars costumes have been here on the show, actually. So for our Kenobi week last year, I got Jedi robes and I splurged and got really nice ones.
Yeah.
It was?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
no, I don't know. It was sometime.
I thought it was last year. Here, it's very not a great resolution picture, but
listen, I tried.
No, because I tried too, and I couldn't get.
My
a better
wife was
one.
like, "Why do you have so many pictures of Emily on your phone?"
Trying to get a good screenshot because our internet sucks. No, so I got these really cool Jedi robes, which you can't even really tell that I'm wearing on screen. And but then Eric in the chat was like, "You look like Avar Chris," and it was probably the best day of my life.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Yes, that was with my California hair, my long California hair.
Oh yeah.
Rest in peace. F's in the chat to the long California hair.
Yep. And then my other one was my personal favorite. I cosplayed as the cover of Courtship of Princess Leia. I was in this like old school wedding dress, and I got like a headpiece that like looked like it, which was like astounding to me that people didn't realize that I was dressing up as the cover, because like I think you guys even like Andrew was the first person that noticed, and he was like
he noticed without missing a
chat.
I had to have it explained to me.
Yes. And then Jared was like, and Emily's in a wedding dress. Like that's not really weird.
Here's the deal. Here's what you have to know about me, Emily. You ready for this? I'm a narcissist. Therefore, I only care about myself.
Fair enough. I feel like we all kind of are. But yeah, so those are my Star Wars costumes. I have tried to put together a Han Solo outfit like for fall, as I have been told is common in my culture, for lots of white women in the fall to wear a cream colored shirt and a black vest with tall boots and pants.
You said it on the show. I'm so glad.
I mean, my culture is not your costume, first off.
Wow.
But
point taken.
That's all I have to say about that.
And Caleb Lemonak says, don't forget your pumpkin spice latte.
So, oh, yes, for sure.
I love that. Rick, how about I called you just a second ago, the king of the thrift store.
That's right.
Yeah.
Y'all let me know.
Seats to prove it.
Let me know when my mic cuts out again. But let's go back, all the way back to 1996. Here I am in second grade. Okay, fast forward to Star Wars shirt.
Cute.
I have a Star Wars Christmas sweater I wear every year, and like look at that great duck
good,
face.
Actually,
thank you. Now I've gone to the bow tie. This is me and my son, and we had some matching shirts. Daddy's little Jedi and Daddy. It's nice. Okay, so cosplay. Force Awakens, when it came out, me and the youth group kids went, and I dressed up like a Bible character, but we're calling it a Star Wars costume. So yeah, that was good times. And then for Halloween and years past, I think you've heard the story, but me and David, I made this Luke Skywalker
Never
story.
gets old, man. It's
yeah,
so good.
Yeah, it's great. Really, really good. Good pictures, good costume. I'm definitely wearing a women's or like a petite girl vest that I found at Goodwill. And that's like a vacuum hose and then a baseball helmet that I painted and ski goggles.
I love that.
It's great. But
so good.
the best part,
you got burned by your mom.
yeah, here it is. I can't read it for sure, but it's something about, are those your real arms or did you paint them white? And,
oh my gosh.
yeah, savage. And my mom's also a teacher that everybody knows, and so another like friend from school said, "Oh, Miss Grace from the top rope." So yeah, good times, good times.
10 million views.
Right.
That
so
costume was so good, though.
That's a great costume.
It looks so good.
And
a
then
very good thrifty costume.
my
This
full
one's better.
Kenobi outfit.
Heck yeah.
And then when you add some Photoshop to the mix, it gets more exciting. Although I did the finger thing wrong and it bugs me, so I'm about to do it again.
Like
Look
you're
at me.
about to-
I love you.
Rock on.
Yeah, rock on. My
Or shoot some webs at the camera.
yeah, there you go. My when I was my first Photoshop attempt is right here though, and I used my TV remote to make a lightsaber hilt. But yeah,
love you, Rick. Oh
it's
my
pretty
gosh,
cool.
dude.
It's pretty cool. And then
That's
one more thing to show is, if you don't know, on the Star Wars app, you can do like a augmented reality thing where it takes your face and plugs it into Star Wars scenes. And
What?
so you need to check this out. They're not like, it's just like a backdrop, like, a backdrop and then your camera. So here are my greatest hits of this feature on the Star Wars app.
Ooh.
Oh wow. Okay, so we got some Hoth going on.
Is that a kissy face Yoda over there in the
Yep.
corner?
Those faces
Yeah.
are wonderful.
Probably
Yep.
the same face that Yaddle made at him.
Oh my god.
Yaddle, also the queen of faces. Man, she's got some weird faces out there.
Some
That's
faces.
for sure. And
The one in
those are
the
good, Rick.
bottom
Thank you.
right-hand
Thank you.
corner there.
Yeah.
That reminds me almost like as if Dwight had
Yes.
accidentally
Yes.
put on
Yes.
an
That
outfit.
is, I've never been more Dwightish in my life.
Oh my gosh.
Unless
He's like,
I'm.
"Ooh, what is this? Oh
Yeah.
no.
oh, that reminds me of, I gotta find the image of my my family's Christmas cards from like 2010, 2009, right around there. My brother and I at Disney World got in the photo booth, and they like augment you into a Star Wars scene. And,
Oh yeah.
oh, it is the most cringeworthy thing you've ever seen. I know I've shown it off somewhere in YOUTINI, maybe the Discord. Could have been 2 or 3 years ago, but whew, it's something. That's for
Mine
sure.
is somewhere in this room, and I was like maybe 10 or 13.
You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Find it.
yeah, at Disney World, in the Tatooine Traders, you can hop in the photo booth thing, and they put you in a Star Wars scene. All right, now I did my first like big attempt at a Star Wars costume at Celebration this year. It was very simple, and I was the worst dressed of all the Will Rose Hood. Let's be honest. Yeah, I got to do the running of the hoods. It was I talked a lot about it. I've said so much about this in our Celebration recap episodes. It was a real dream of mine. I was finally able to fulfill it. All the people doing it with me were lovely and wonderful to hang out with. And we had a tremendous experience. And I shaved my beard down to the mustache just for the sake of doing this. And yeah, here we go. This is the photo that I turned in to the organization in order to have my costume approved. Now, let me ask you guys, when you look at this, what do you see?
Hire him this instant.
It looks
What?
great.
Okay. Do you see anything odd or awkward about this photo? It is,
Something
for
about
our
the ice
audio
cream thing?
listeners, it is an orange jumpsuit, black rubber boots, and an ice cream maker. That's the basic version of the costume.
Yeah. I can't tell. Do you still have a beard?
In this photo, I do. Yeah, I shaved it down to the mustache at Celebration in Freddie's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I see.
What is it?
Do you see?
You're missing an
Actually
arm?
Photoshopped the color. No, it's behind my back.
Okay.
Just the way I'm angled. I photoshopped the color of this bucket. The bucket that I'm holding is orange.
Oh my gosh.
It's like a family heirloom that I didn't want to ruin. But I also wasn't about to fly with it to California. So I had to buy a popcorn bucket and spray paint it, not popcorn, an ice cream maker, and spray paint it in Freddy's garage in California.
Oh my gosh.
After having arrived. And so this one is photoshopped, and I was still admitted into the club.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
I will say, from seeing your costume in person, the quality is not quite the quality of those around you.
No.
I feel like the whole costume was kind of brought to you by spray paint and wishful thinking.
For sure.
But you pulled it off, and I feel like the facial hair made it 100%. In fact, the whole thing was masked, and we were like trying to get into the Mando experience or something like that. And I didn't realize that you had facial hair until you like pulled down your mask and took a stupid selfie with something. And I was like, is that new?
Wow. Look at that mustache. And I was like, oh yeah, this is my Wilbur Hood mustache. See you later.
It looked so good though.
Ice cream. I took off down the convention center running as fast as I could. And I was the last Wilbur to arrive. But I made it.
You led a couple of chants too, right?
Oh, I did a lot of it, man. I get very immersed in things, like way too much so. Like when there's a ball game on, I'm screaming. I can't just sit there and watch it. Like I have to scream, and it's a nightmare to do anything with me. Let's be honest. But yeah,
Jared, I found the thing, by the way. I just sent it to Rick in the chat. So
good.
Rick, just pull it up. You ready? Boom. Bingo bango.
Oh my gosh, Freddy.
This is Freddy dressed as a X-Wing pilot at, what, 10 years old?
They're recruiting a little young these days.
The new Bio Squadron.
Straight glowing. It looks like you've got force light.
There you go.
That's right.
Yaddle standing behind me.
Yaddle's right behind you.
Well, let us know, everybody, if you have ever done a Star Wars cosplay. We'd love to see it in the Legends Look Back Discord channel. And do want to say, shout out to all the cosplayers out there. Ours are very amateurish. And what I learned from my experience was like, next time I'm going to get, a better outfit. Yeah, here's some from Celebration. We've got Malik and Bastila, when Malik stole Revan's girl. We've got
the
Jedi
moment you'll
Revan.
never forget.
This photo of Jedi Revan I had to take while getting tattooed, and I was like sitting very still because I didn't want to mess up what was going on. Yep. So there's Jedi Revan. We got Mara Jade came by the booth. Ooh. And what you got? What's that, Freddie?
Ooh, who's that, guys? That is Jackson.
Freddie and Jackson looking fly. Here we've got Rick's Boba Fett. The droid's discolored Boba Fett.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What is this, Freddie?
with I think this is one of the 501st contingent. This is the creatures, I believe is what they call them.
A couple of Gamorreans?
The group, a couple of Gamorreans, and then that guy in the background, I believe he is a Mandalorian character that just gets killed pretty quickly.
I can't quite tell, but the Gamorreans are amazing.
Yes. See Rick in the background there.
Oh, okay. So that's
cute.
So that's my daughter and my wife's cousin's kid, who I did not ask permission to put on the internet, so don't tell her. This was a few years ago. They were get it off of Yaddle Jesus and back on. All right, so we called this outfit
stinking cute.
We called this outfit R222.
R222.
Anyway, I'm very proud of it.
I need to buy that for my daughter. She's obsessed with all things twirly and Star Wars, and she also loves Chewbacca. But I feel like either way.
My daughter had demolished that tutu by the end of the night. Just like played super hard and had a good time. It was definitely one of the more fun Halloweens we'd ever done. And she's got the pink shoes that go with it. So hey, and by the way, if you are a Star Wars Legends costumer, putting out the call here loud and clear on the internet, if you are in the Legends cosplay scene, we would love to hear from you. We'd love to have you on the show and all about what that's like for you and how you build your costume and your favorite cosplays and your best tips for cosplaying and how we can support you in the general Legends fandom. Because at this point, there's no new Legends stories being made. With the asterisk of course, a little bit of SWTOR still happening. But for the most part, we're talking about something I like to describe as outdated and irrelevant.
but they're still making content.
There's
right?
Yes, don't get me
Audiobooks.
wrong, but there's only a handful of ways that we as Legends fans can perpetuate our love for the fandom, and one of the best ways to do so is to bring it into real life. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bring it into the 3D, the third dimension, like my big Stormtrooper belt buckle, right? And so we'd love to hear what you do to share your love of Legends in the costuming world. And so real quick, as we conclude, what would be like one costuming goal of yours? Like something you would love to do that you haven't yet, but like potentially would like to see happen in your, sky's the limit. Money isn't an issue. Star Wars costuming, specifically, if you can make it Legends, that'd be cool.
I wouldn't say it's Legends. I'll come up with another Legends one, but I've always wanted to be a droideka. You know what I mean? Just roll around and stand up. Full on droideka
like
outfit.
the tire.
Yeah.
you're like
in a
hunched
tire,
in a
yeah,
tire,
sure.
like rolled around.
That's so
That would be
fantastic.
legit.
Rick can push me
Rick
along.
would definitely I feel like Rick could make that work somehow. I get the weird feeling like he would be super good at making a droideka costume.
I know a guy.
Yeah.
You know?
I'll think
that's
of a Legends
great.
outfit, but I've
Okay.
always wanted to be a droideka.
I love it. Emily?
I want my whole family to be excited about dressing up as Star Wars for Halloween. So I know it's not like a specific costume. I don't care what kind of Star Wars. Just like I want everybody all in.
We did it a few years ago, and my wife was Jen, and
Okay.
my daughter was Ray, and I was so excited to show this off on the show, and I found the picture, and my costume was, are you ready? I was just wearing a Star Wars t-shirt.
What?
Me, this guy. Yeah, I don't know. Just
You ha-
wearing a Star Wars. I had my Millennium Falcon belt buckle, but still, like, I didn't have a costume.
Oh my gosh.
We must have been strapped for cash that Halloween. Yeah, I don't know. I'm embarrassed to say it, but shout out to both of them for doing it up for sure. One costume I would like to do, and I need some folks to get in on it with me. I was trying to convince Tyler around Celebration. We didn't quite make it happen. I want to do the Dad Batch. I
Okay.
want to do the Bad Batch costumes, but a little schluppier, including like some food stains on the shirts, some backpacks with like bananas for the kids for snacks. You got to have a
Instead of
backpack full
Rekka, you've got Slacka.
yeah, for sure. Yeah. Anyway, so working on it. I don't quite have the idea fully formulated yet. Rick, I feel like you'd be a good member of the Dad Batch.
100%.
Oh yeah, happy to be. I think my costume would be Hot Dog Boba Fett. That I
Ooh, I love it.
So.
You don't want to
So-
be Palpatine's clone just in a vat?
Oh, slimy!
That's so in the weeds. Hot Dog Boba Fett. Nobody would understand except for us. Oh, that's so good.
You know,
I did
Scuba
hear-
Joe.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Jared.
Oh, I did hear that Spirit Halloween this year has some great Star Wars masks.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm thinking about getting the Tusken Raider mask and then
Ooh,
wearing
that'd
it
be
with
cool.
my
I was
Jedi
gonna
robe.
say Tuscan. That would be cool.
I was thinking I'd wear it with my Jedi robe and then a lightsaber, and I could be
Ooh.
That
The-
one
the-
Jedi.
yeah, was it Sharad Het?
Sharad
Oh,
Het.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sharad Het. One of the
Yeah.
hets.
Sharad Het, I think, is the dad.
So speaking
Alright.
of Legends, Scuba Joe in the chat, I think I'm gonna bring this one out as my Legends outfit too, but I think we're gonna go with a full-on Griff suit from head to toe. What do you guys think?
Oh, I'd love it. Yeah, especially like from the very last issue of KOTOR where he's in like a full tuxedo with the bow tie.
Oh
And then
yeah,
you just
yeah.
need a Snivian mask at that point.
There you go.
So I could see it for sure. Red Snaggletooth or whatever. Another dream of mine would be prom Darth Vader. Just get a Darth Vader costume and spray paint it white.
Oh yeah.
No.
You know what would be cool too? One of
You
those
would
like
spray paint
McQuarrie spray paint. Oh
in
yeah, it
Freddy's
was
garage. I
all
want
over
to do
the
it in
place.
Freddy's garage, in the place that he no longer has.
Yeah, there you go. One of the I think one of the I guess the outfits I'd like to do, it's kind of hard, right? Because you'd have to fashion it yourself. There's no molds for it. But one of the Ralph McQuarrie concepts, like either the Stormtrooper or Boba Fett, you could do a McQuarrie hot dog Boba Fett even.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I love it.
How would you even do that? You'd wear just buns on the outside and put
Yeah, Rick has got the best buns in town. I mean, I'm telling you.
You know, if you ask the guard girls in band, best legs and best butt. So I'm married a guard girl, so they don't lie.
I feel like this is not the first time we've talked about buns.
Or my
on the
buns.
show.
Probably
Well,
not.
we've seen those white upper arms, that's for sure. So. And on that note, that does it for Legends Look Back.
Good place to...
We have enjoyed this episode. If you want to catch some more of the fun stuff happening in the YOUTINI-verse, next Monday night on the Living Forest, they're going to be starting their Path of Deceit roundtable. And then for us, we're changing plans, so who knows what we're going to do. We don't know. Only Yaddle and her Forest Prophecy knows what we've got coming up next week. But my vote is more Yaddle stuff. That's my vote for sure. So that does it for this week. Thank you for joining us for Legends Look Back. Thank you especially to our patrons for your support. Specifically, I want to thank our Jedi High Council, Brian Dooley, Earl Q, Patrick Ortiz, and Carl Sander, as well as the Alliance High Command, Ashley Ingalls, Elizabeth Cloutier, and Sally and Chris Eilerson. Remember to sub to the channel and leave us a review in your podcast platform of choice. And if you would like your thoughts read on the show, our contact information can be found in the description below. We're also on Twitter at Legends Look Back. And if you're looking to buy some of these books, such as all the Yaddle books, you can go on over to youtini.com, click the Amazon link in the profile, and after you've read the books, whether they're about Yaddle or not, you can leave us a review. And no matter what your opinion, as you let us know what you think, remember to keep that YOUTINI fan code and be a force for positivity in the fandom. May the Force be with you.
This is a YOUTINI broadcast.